So we were talking about rogue skills, thieves skills in D&D, pickpockets, forgery, disguise, kind of these more soft role-playing skills out of combat skills. I mean, often what we see with a rogue or a thief, the combat skills are what is the primary focus. Are you getting flank? Are you getting sneak attack? Are you using stealth to scout things out or get into a proper position? That occupies a lot of that rogue's time. Then I think secondary, we tend to see lock picking and trap removal. Now, if it's AD&D, you have a hireling look for traps and stuff because they're still so deadly it could kill your thief. But in 3.x or D&D modern as it is now, traps are a lot safer. They're not as lethal from that perspective. So the thief and the rogue, they might be doing some trap duty and unlocking stuff. But I won't say that's necessary because you can always smash open the chest or break it or wizard it open. But these kind of soft skills, when do you really see them? I don't see them as much. Maybe because D&D has become more of a number crunching type game. Maybe it's just the group I'm playing with. Maybe, honestly, we've all grown up since those early D&D days. There was a good friend of mine when we would play D&D. He'd always play a thief. This was back in AD&D, D&D Red Box, and 3.5 when thieves became rogues. He's stealing absolutely everything he can. Like, just pickpocket like crazy, pickpocket jacked up. And he would pass me notes under the table, being like, I want to steal this. I want to steal that. So I would make kind of rolls and checks and see what happens and write the note down and pass it back. Or just make a nod, yes or no. It got so crazy. I mean, look, I'm the DM. You can do whatever you want. It's all good. We're going to play this out, see where it goes, see what happens, create that story. It got to the point where it was so crazy, he was causing so much trouble for the party, getting caught and what they were paying in fines and missions and quests to get out of trouble. Or likewise, when a player was missing something, they were like, you took my dagger, you took my stuff, like, give it back. It was crazy. So maybe we've all grown up and evolved from that. But when I find myself playing a rogue, I go for the soft skills. I do. I go for the forgery. I go for the pickpockets. I go for the disguise from that regard. I had a rogue that his... Now, the DM agreed to this because I said ahead of time, this is the character concept I'm looking to play. So I'm going to need some serious role-playing, R-O-L-E versus R-O-L-L, but there will be some R-O-L-L play involved. My rogue was dressed like a rogue, and then he had wizard robes over him with a wizard staff, and he had a combination of leather braces and harnesses. So he had wands, like strapped to his arm. He had spell-like effects. Essentially, he was going to be using sleight of hand and other dexterity-based skills to pass himself off as a low-level wizard. We were like level 2 or 3. Obviously, you make it level 5 or 8, everyone's going to know there's no way you're a rogue. But I said, I'm going to play this character in the party as if he's a mage, which worked out perfectly because I'm not really going to cast spells because like, oh, I don't want to burn spell slots. And when I do, it'll be low-level effects, passing himself off as a rogue. So this character, I had a lot of fun playing him. And then I was part of a game. This was kind of a pickup game where the party wasn't really nice to me, real time. There was 2 dwarves in the party that were trying to find... The party was trying to locate this lost mine. It's one of the stock adventures, lost mine of something. And they had a map to it, and we wanted to claim it, and something was going to happen at the mine. Obviously, there's monsters there. And these 2 dwarves, real-time players, thought like, well, this is our ancestral mine. We don't want anybody else involved. So they were going to go off on their own and literally find the mine. So I used at night Forgery to... with the DM, look, we got to make the rolls. We got to see what happens. If I get caught, I get caught. When we were in the common room sleeping at night, I went over, lifted the map, made a copy for myself, and then used Forgery on the original map to add in a couple of little things basically to take them on a detour for a day or two to get there, and then put it back in, got my copy, and we went and we made it to the mine ahead of times. So I think there's a lot of opportunities. They weren't happy when we did that, but it's like, hey, come on, we're supposed to be working together as a team. When we got there, I was like, look, I sent you on a 2-day detour. Yes, you had to fight some monsters. Yes, you got hurt, but look, you got some extra experience. You got 200 extra experience points. And on top of that, I'm a nice guy because now we're at the mine together and I waited for you. I could have gone in and taken care of things, or I could have messed with the code on the map so when you went to the door, it kills you, right? So it's all good. Let's just go in here and get this mine. You can have it for your clan. I just want some gold pieces. I just want some gems. I got to buy some more wands, right? So from that perspective, I've always tried to focus on the soft skills, the forgery type skills. Obviously stealth, because that's going to make sleight of hand and everything else work. I think there's a tremendous opportunity in playing a rogue or an old school thief and playing it from that perspective. I won't say as opposed, because combat is important, but focusing on as a combat machine. There are other ways to take advantage of the full character class. And on a side note, we talked about a bard. I pushed up a bard to the channel here. A lot of great ways to play a bard. You know, bard's got a little bit of spice of everything. That's what we want to use. That's what we want to take advantage of. Same thing with playing a rogue or a thief.